Your next big idea may be just 6 steps from going viral. My name's Chris, and today I'm looking at Jonah Berger's book, Contagious, which offers some great wisdom for marketing, but also some truly interesting insights for how we consume information. In this book, Jonah breaks down viral content into 6 main principles, which he calls STEP, or STEP plus PS. Either way, we'll take a look at each of these principles so that by the end of this video, you know exactly what it takes to make things catch on. So the S in STEPS stands for social currency. People will share things that make them look good, something that makes them look like an expert. Next up, we have triggers. And triggers are kind of simple to think about. If you think about peanut butter and jelly, for example, that's a trigger. If you thought of jelly when I said peanut butter, you were triggered to that. Kit Kat did a great job of this with their Give Me a Break campaign and paired Kit Kat candy bars with coffee breaks. So when you're in the break room and you're grabbing a cup of coffee, you see that Kit Kat in the vending machine and go after it because it's a trigger. Next up is E, and that stands for emotions. So we know that things that are emotional can cause us to share them, but it's not just any emotion that makes you want to share it. For example, it's high arousal emotions, and that could be something like fear or something like awe or excitement. These are things that trigger you to have those emotions, and thus you're going to want to share it. Depressed, sad, complacent, even comfortable and cozy, those are not high arousal emotions, so they're less likely to be shared. So remember, if you want to follow emotions, you're looking for high arousal emotions that will make somebody really want to click that share button. Next up, we have the first P, and that stands for public. And really this breaks down to sharing something that is making the invisible visible. You probably remember the Ice Bucket Challenge. You've probably heard of No Shave November, or even seen some companies use reusable shopping bags. And the principle behind this is that you're gonna take something that is invisible, like giving to a charity, and make it visible so that everybody knows that you support this cause. That's where public comes in. And that's the first P in STEPS. The second P is gonna be practical value. Anything that offers practical value is gonna be worth sharing. Even if it's something that doesn't particularly interest you, but maybe interests somebody that you know, you're gonna share it. So you might not be interested in golf, but you see a very useful golf tip scroll across your feed. You're gonna share it with that best friend that you know that's working on their golf game because you know it adds practical value to them. This is something that is really popular with loyalty cards and something like handouts and gifts that companies will give you when you walk in their store. And reality is you may not use these things, but when you have something that offers practical value, you're gonna share it and then you're gonna spread the word. So that leads us to our final principle, which is S for stories. And this one is really simple. People love stories. If you think of like the Trojan horse story, that's something that's been shared for thousands of years. What you've done is you've created a story that builds relevance around these tactics, and then somebody remembers it and shares it because they're sharing the story, but they're also sharing your message that's wrapped into it. Think of it like like something that's bacon wrapped, and you're bacon wrapping it in the story. I don't know, that's not a good example, but what you're doing is you're taking your message and you're making it stick by wrapping it and embedding it in a story. So those are Berger's 6 principles for making something contagious. I found this book to be very insightful, and I learned so much from it. It changes the way I look at marketing and advertisements that come across my screens, and I hope it does the same for you. The real magic happens when you start to combine these principles. So if you can make something trigger and drive an emotion and add practical value, Then you've got a hit. See how many things that you can combine to make something contagious. And be sure to pick up this book. If you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to doing many more of these book reviews, and hopefully you can take practical insights from these everyday books.